Hello everyone, I welcome you to this CEC lecture series. I am Nupur Chawla, teaching English literature at Maitrey College, Delhi University. And today, the lecture that we have is actually yet another one which is in the ongoing series where we have been discussing different essays in feminism and what have been the arguments of the feminists at different points of time in history. So we looked at the 19th century and now we've transitioned to the 20th century. And today what we are going to look at is this essay by Adrienne Rich that is titled When We Dead Awaken. Now I'm sure that when you listen to this title, it does immediately catch your attention and your curiosity, right? But of course we will get into, we will go into the details of the title in just a bit. But so Adrienne Rich is actually an American who was born in 1929 and was around until very recently, that is 2012, right? So we very clearly see that how Adrienne Rich was, part of the 20th century and of course the early 21st century, as we can call it. Yeah. So now, Adrienne Rich was actually an American poet and essayist and of course a feminist as well. Now you will notice that a lot of her poems deal with the women's question, but as prolific as she was in writing poetry, she also wrote the essays where she discussed issues of feminism. So you see, she writes openly about her outrage with the patriarchal nature of society. She also set an example that continued proactive work against sexism will eventually counteract it. So what does that mean? That, be it her poetry, be it her essays, she dealt with the question of the patriarchal nature of society. And you would have noticed that, each feminist has her own stance, has her own way of approaching this, the women's question. What she does is actually the fact that, she approaches it from the point of view of, particularly in her poetry, you will notice that there is a lot of, a reference of lesbianism as well. But in discussion today are is a very seminal essay of hers. And if we look at her essays, in her essays, she takes up these questions, very essential questions pertaining to women's experiences, right? And but then what I want to right at the outset establish is that Adrienne Rich is or was a feminist, an essayist, and a poet as well. So while we are discussing her essay today, but you might be interested in looking at her poetry too. So now if we look at some of her collections of the essays, they include, the first one is the Snapshots of a Daughter-in-Law. Now this essay was, this collection was published in 1963. Next we have, the collection is titled Of Woman Born, Motherhood as an Experience and Institution. Now this was published in 1972. Likewise in 1979 we saw this collection on Lies, Secrets and Silence, and 1986 we saw the collection Blood, Bread and Poetry. Now, if you particularly look at all these titles, you see now the first two talk about the snapshots of a daughter-in-law, and the second one talks about motherhood as an experience and an institution. So what do we notice? We see that how Adrienne Rich actually goes into these two very essential, so to say, experiences of women, particularly in the domestic sphere, right? Now, you might wonder, is she, trying to valorize that space? Now, again, you must read these collections to understand. But of course, being a feminist, she is all for women's equality, be it in the domestic sphere or outside. And likewise, the third title that you also see, which says On Lies, Secrets and Silence. Now, and the fourth one, which is Blood, Bread and Poetry. Now, the last two, as you will notice, they have a very pronounced sense of politics in them, where she's talking about silences. She's talking about blood, bread and poetry, right? So as if she's going to deal with the question of silencing the sane voices in society, that how when certain people are not allowed to speak up, or when certain people are not allowed to represent themselves the way they want, what repercussions that it has. And when she talks about blood, bread and poetry in the same breath, that in itself is extremely powerful, right? So again, bringing our attention to the fact that how her politics then is going to be extremely sharp. So these are some of the her other collections of essays. But what we also notice is that she was writing quite a lot around the 70s. She also wrote in the 80s, and of course a little later as well. So basically what we can say is that she is part of the late 20th century feminist movement, right? Now, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the essay which is titled "When We Dead Awaken, Writing as Revision." Now, this is the complete title of the essay, and this was written in 1972. Now, at the outset itself, I had mentioned that how the title of the essay would actually, raise your curiosity, and because it is a rather unconventional title, right? So, where it says that when we dead awaken, writing as revision. Now, when we look at the first, part of the title, that is when we dead awaken, this is actually derived from Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen's play by the same name, that is When We Dead Awaken, and it was written in 1899. So there are some overlaps between what Henrik Ibsen does in this play and also what Adrienne Rich tries to take up in this essay of hers. Now, to further explain the title, I would like to focus on some of the important words, right? And that is always the best way to decode what a particular writer is trying to do. So the first important word that I would like to highlight is the word awaken, right? Now, when she says when we dead awaken, what exactly does awaken mean in the context? So Rich talks about, and she uses this phrase in her essay, where she says that it's the awakening of consciousness of women. So that is where the word awaken first appears in her essay, right? Now, what does she mean by awakening of the consciousness of women? This basically implies that how women are now becoming conscious about certain aspects of experience that perhaps they were not exactly taking into cognizance before. Right? Now, what are these aspects of experience, etc.? That's something that we are going to look at as we go ahead in the essay. But to give you a very quick view, basically in this essay, she talks about the women's question vis-a-vis women's writing. Right? Now, that is the entry point of Adrienne Rich in this essay of hers, where she doesn't talk about women in different spaces. Particularly, she's dealing with the idea of womanhood and the entire question of women's consciousness and women's expression of themselves through the written word, right? And what she does with this kind of a discussion, we are going to look at as we go forward and discuss some of the essential arguments. But first, let's understand the significance of the word awaken that's there in the title of the essay. So the first thing that we have said is that awaken over here points to the awakening of the consciousness of women as defined by Adrienne Rich in this essay itself. Now, you see, the second thing that she also says about the word in the essay is that this awakening has a collective reality. Now, that is a second very important aspect of awakening. So, it is not an individual awakening in that sense that only a certain group of women in society are, realizing, certain aspect of their femininity or certain aspect of their position in society. But instead, it is a collective reality. Very clearly, Adrienne Rich mentions this. So yet again, this idea of collectivism. Now, you might wonder, what do we mean by this awakening as a collective reality? So this basically points towards the fact that how Rich establishes that the awakening that women are now experiencing or working towards is not only restricted to a certain section of women in society. You see now, and also what do we mean by certain section of women? Very clearly, there are a few women who get the privilege of education, who have the privilege of maybe going out and taking up jobs, while certain other women still struggle with the conventional mores. So that's what she says, that it is not only the awakening of those women who have been able to achieve this kind of a status. Instead, it's an awakening of the consciousness of the entire, so to say, womankind, and that is why she calls it a collective reality instead of an individual enterprise, so to say. So you see, with this kind of an understanding of the word awakening, we see that how it's extremely political. Her argument is extremely political, where she moves away from this individuality and talks about collectivism, right? Now, coming to the second important word in the title, that is revision. She says, when we dead awaken, writing as revision. Now, what is the word revision over here? What significance does it have? Now, Adrienne Rich in the essay says that the revision is the act of looking back, seeing with fresh eyes, entering an old text with a new critical direction, unquote. Now, very clearly, we know that she is right at the outset establishing what she means by revision. So the act of looking back, seeing with a new perspective those old texts, right? So now, which old text is she talking about over here? As you will read the essay, you will understand that these texts are basically women's writings, and in this essay then she's actually sharing a perspective on those writings written by women at different points of time in history. Next, she also says that we need to know the writings of the past and know them differently. Now, again, you see that there's a constant engagement with the two aspects. First, of course, women's writings, and particularly those writings that have already been written. So now what Adrienne Rich is doing is that she's revisiting the question of the written word by the women writers or women poets, right? What is the significance of those of that written word? What kind of attitudes are we able to identify when we read those writings? Also, what are the kind of perceptions, and what are the kinds of experiences that also shape these writings? So these are some of the questions that she goes into when she actually does an analysis of some of the very prominent women poets and essayists of the past. So you will see that she takes up the question of women's writing in this essay very seriously and connects it with with a perspective on what exactly is the significance of women's experience of the act of writing by women. Now, at another level, thirdly, looking at the word revision, she also says another very important thing. And I'll quickly quote here from the essay. She says that it is an act of survival. So this revision is an act of survival. Until we can understand the assumptions in which we are drenched, we cannot know ourselves, unquote. Now, over here, there are very important terms that she uses. She says that this looking back, this revision, is actually an act of survival for womankind. She says that until we can understand the assumptions in which we are drenched, we cannot know ourselves. Now, of crucial importance over here is the word assumptions. So what is she trying to do? She is trying to locate the biases. She is trying to locate certain complexes that are, and in fact, for that matter, certain influences that constantly have worked on a woman's psyche, even while she is writing and expressing herself through the written word. So she says that when we go back to those texts, we try to understand the assumptions which have shaped those texts, right? And through this understanding of the way these women have been so to say impacted or influenced by various social discourses, and how we when we look at those aspects reflected in their writings, this becomes another step in knowing our own selves, right? So knowing about or being aware of the influences working upon us as women is another step in self-knowledge, according to her. And she also says that this is not just an act of self-knowledge, but this is also, very sharply stated, an act of survival. Why survival? Because when they know what's happening, when they become conscious of the different even unconscious influences working on women's psyche, and these are understood, or these are unearthed through some kind of a discussion of their writings. So this helps us arrive at a kind of a selfhood of women, right? So that's what these two terms mean, revision and awakening, which then sets the ball rolling. So what do we see? That first, that she is going to talk about some kind of an awakening of consciousness of women. Second, we also said that it's a kind of a collective reality that she is dealing with. This coming of consciousness is not individual, but it's pertaining to all sections of society. Then we also saw that the idea of revision then actually pertains to Adrienne Rich's central enterprise in this essay, where she goes back to the old texts of written by women writers, and that becomes her way of understanding the unconscious influences that work on women, that have worked in history and that continue working till date, right? Now, the next thing that we also say is that in this essay, she thinks of the new register for women as they rethink the past and they reinterpret it on their own terms. Now, again, what past are they rethinking? They are particularly rethinking the terms in which particular writings were written by certain women writers, right? And also, how those writings then are a reflection of different social mores that have constantly molded women's psyche. So she says that, language and images for a consciousness, that is something that we need to be aware of. The language and images for a consciousness. So on the one hand, she says that it is the coming into being, or it's the awakening of the consciousness. And then at the same time, she also says that what we need to examine are the language and images for a consciousness with little past to support us. Now, this is part of this quote where I've picked up these phrases from. So she says that language and images for a consciousness with little past to support us. So this seems to be, one of her concerns, where she's going to examine the images of women, the language which is being used to describe them in the cultural sphere, right? So she says that when we get into this kind of an inquiry, we notice that there is very little support that we have received in the past. That's why she says with little past to support us. Now, what is this little support that she refers to? This will become clear as we move ahead in our discussion, right? So with this initial prologue about the essay, let's now move on to looking at some of the important arguments that she makes in this essay of hers. The first thing is that we see that she traces a change in the theme of the 20th century women poets. Now, what does she do? Now, she makes an observation that from writing about love as the source of her suffering, that's what Adrienne Rich says, right? So from writing about love as the source of suffering, these poets moved to writing about, and I quote, women's sense of herself, embattled and possessed, unquote. Now, you see, these two phrases are of importance over here. Love as the source of her suffering. This used to be the thematic, concern initially, and then how there was a transition in these poets themselves, where now they started to, where their writings then reflected the woman's sense of herself, embattled and possessed. Now, what does this change in theme, so to say, indicate? You see, in the first case, as she says, that women and their writings had a very particular, or if we can call it that, a limited approach to issues around. So over there, definitely, suffering was an essential part of their experience. But at that time, in the initial, writings, love was seen as the source of the suffering, right? So where, her interactions with the man would be kind of insufficient, or would leave her not feeling too good, and that was the source of suffering, and that seems to predominate the themes according to Adrienne Rich. But then she says that eventually there was a transition from this very narrow so to say engagement, where now these poets started to write about women's sense of herself, embattled and possessed. So from there was this sense of the self that that was evident in the women's writing, even as the idea of suffering still continued. But that idea of suffering did not only remain restricted to the experience of love, right? So suffering in other terms also found expression when, as the woman reflected on herself, reflected on her sense of self in these writings that she wrote. Right now, she also, further indicates that this kind of evolution of theme. When she's talking about this, she has in mind this particular poet, that is Sylvia Plath. And you will see that she mentions a lot of different poets and women writers in this essay of hers. But basically, what she's trying to indicate is that there has also been, some kind of a shift in the subject that women would take to write about. And that shift, as we've just now discussed, then is another reflection of the women coming into, or the awakening of the consciousness of women, that how their understanding is expanding, and the sense of self also, or the definition of the self, or the definition of the suffering woman, then gets expanded through these writings. Right now, the second important concern also we notice is that where she talks about the concerns and the language for one's writing. Right now, how are the subjects chosen, or what does the particular writer chooses to write about? What are the concerns, and what is the language in which the writer discusses? That becomes the second point of engagement of her essay. Right now, we are going to go into detail of this argument in the second half of the lecture. But so far, let's look at what we have discussed. First, we mentioned that how the title of the essay itself is extremely telling, where two words are of particular significance. That is, one is the word awaken, second is the word revision. Right, and the word awaken points towards the central argument of Adrienne Rich, where she talks about the awakening of consciousness of women. Right, and this she tries to trace this kind of an awakening as she reads, or as she reinterprets the different writings by women. And then you see, we also notice that the second word, that is revision, then again highlights the fact that how she is going back to the past, going back to the texts which have already been written, trying to analyze them and understand that what exactly are the concerns, what exactly are the influences that have been working on women all this while, and which then also find mention in their writings. Then thirdly, we looked at one of the foremost arguments in her essay, that how she talks about an evolution of theme in the writings of the particularly the 20th century women poets, right? So we broadly established these 3 points with respect to Adrienne Riche's essay. In the second half of the lecture, we are going to further discuss the other arguments that she makes. Thank you.